afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Saturday, July 2nd, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. How do we stop striving and start thriving? How do we stop striving and start thriving? Become more and more innocent, less knowledgeable, and more childlike. Take life as fun, because that's precisely what it is. Also, a lot of us will find ourselves struggling to survive our day or week. You ever watch people? Maybe you see that yourself. I'm just, trying to survive the week or the day, instead of relishing each moment that we are alive. Are we living a life where we are passionately doing what we most love to do every day? Are we living a life where we are passionately doing what we most love to do every day? If not, we invite you to take a close look at the compromise you have made with yourselves and the limiting beliefs you have bought into that say you need to or you have to do this to survive. What if you could choose to do whatever you wanted to do every day? Do only what you truly love doing in each moment and having fun living your life all the time. That ego mind will say, oh, that's not possible, that's wishful thinking. Is it really? What if your job was to have fun at making money doing these things you love and earn perhaps even more money than what you are currently doing? I've lost track of how many people say, well, you love what you're doing. Well, not really. I do it because, it supports me and my family. And if I did what I love doing, I wouldn't make any money. See, people negate that. Did you ever consider this as a possible future way of being in this world? If not, it's time to open up this door to thriving in a life that you were born to live. Our natural state of being as a civilization, natural state of being, is to enjoy our lives. Unnatural state of being is to fight our lives. Struggle, strive. We are not meant to be doing anything in this life on a daily basis that we do not enjoy or love doing. We're not meant to do that. This is why there's so much turmoil throughout this life for so many, and has been going this way for so very, very, very long. We are not meant to be doing anything in this life on a daily basis that we do not enjoy or love doing. Earth is not, unbeknownst to popular belief, is not a torture camp. Earth is not a torture camp. There are millions of different thoughts, concepts, and choices to choose from in each millisecond of our lives. We literally have thousands of new possible realities to choose from that are right here in front of our faces, and we never notice them because we're striving for some idea of who we think we are. We don't have to go far to realize that there is another aspect of this life to experience here on Earth. Just take a few minutes searching. You could go anywhere. Search Google or any platform for anything that makes your heart sing, and you'll see how many possible alternative realities are there. Now, if you think for a moment that you're stuck in the situation you're in, and that you need to or should continue to do the same routine day after day to pay those bills, you're missing the point of why you are alive. Does it make any sense that we come into body, and most of us, for the most part, struggle, and struggle? We don't have to continue attending those gatherings with people that we feel are tolerating, nor live in a home we don't truly love, nor work at a job we're bored with, nor hang out watching TV commercials that make us want to hurl. Life is meant to be a creative adventure through a large variety of very unique heart and mind expanding experiences. Our lives are meant to be mysterious, interesting, and keep us on our toes in each moment, so we don't become complacent, withdrawn, lazy. The more we can let go and allow our lives to evolve in whatever way it most enjoys turning into, the more mature, intuitive, and wise we will be. This doesn't mean to sell everything you own and become a vagabond who never steps foot in the same city twice. Thriving is more about saying yes to this totally brand new experience of who we are right now, and forgetting whomever the person we thought we should become. The mind can be very pragmatic, as we know, and want to stay on task, striving to attain its main success or goal. Yet, when we stop doing life in the typical ways we normally do things, we have to choose to open our minds and go beyond its reasoning. We start looking deeper inside for the spiritual connection to each moment, where we can get a high off doing anything and everything we do. The state of bliss, love, joy, and freedom are all inside of us. They're not outside of us, they're inside of us. And they never wane or disappear, and they aren't short stays. They're permanent. And we may merely need to open our minds to seeing life from a new perspective. And it will pop up for us. Perhaps you're wondering, what's the main difference between striving and thriving? Well, striving is fear-based, focusing on getting quickly to the goal, while not even thinking about smelling the flowers along the way. Thriving, however, is remaining in this present moment, smelling every flower that is in full bloom, enjoying the aroma deeply, and gazing into the beauty it radiates. Striving is all about the future, while thriving is living in the here and now. Striving contains a strong element of anxiety, tension, and pushing oneself to be better, while thriving holds this precious moment of life with such a deep sacredness feeling, as if it could be your last. Life naturally carries you energetically from one day to the next, instead of you having to burden the weight of carrying it. You know you are caught in striving mode when at the end of the day you normally are tired, exhausted, and depleted. You will know that you are caught in striving mode when at the end of the day you normally are tired, exhausted, and depleted. Thriving mode responds differently in that it brings a healthy feeling of vibrant aliveness into your body. When you're thriving all day long, you feel deeply relaxed, truly satisfied with your life, and completely at peace when your head hits that pillow. From this fulfilled experience of life, you can sleep ever so deeply because you've shown up intimately for each rich experience that day. There is this amazing sensation of true fulfillment where you feel absolutely in touch with your divine self and are so at peace inside that you could die that night and know you had the most perfect life possible. How do you know when you've hit thriving mode? Well, for starters, you are living freely, openly, and highly alive in this moment. You feel so good about yourself, who you are, what you're doing with your time, that you simply do not care a bit about all the things you got accomplished or didn't at the end of your day. You are completely surrendered to this moment. That this moment is your master and guru. The spontaneous, fun-loving you takes action only from a place of inspiration and not obligation. The spontaneous, fun-loving you takes action only from a place of inspiration and not obligation. It's as if you realize you have a very limited amount of time on the planet and you cannot do anything but truly be present in each and every moment of your precious life and enjoy breathing it into the max. It's good to understand that any addiction you may have to striving is a consciousness, energy, and attitude that was unconsciously taught to you at an early age. Many of us were told that if you work super hard in this life and continue to persist, no matter how broke, tired, bored, or unexcited you are about what you are doing, you will eventually arrive at this amazing paradise-like destination. It's fascinating how twisted things can get in society. It's about as convoluted as the dictionary's definition of striving. Webster gives it to exert much effort or energy. That's the Webster's dictionary definition. Exert much effort or energy. What they don't tell you is that striving is an unconscious habit that is never ending and utterly void of happiness. Anything you exert strenuous effort, right? Anytime you exert strenuous effort just to reach some future goal, you are missing out on this magical manifesting moment and blocking your ability to experience the divine essence that is available inside your body here and now. Striving is another word for a severe addiction to wanting. Striving is another word for a severe addiction to wanting. How can anyone receive what they really, really, really want in this life if they are always wanting, wanting, and wanting? Think about that. How can anyone, any one of us, receive what we really, really, really want in this life if we are always wanting, wanting, and wanting? Striving to attain something is an accepted form of desperation in this society. If we look at our lives from the spiritual perspective, the truth is that we have already arrived. Our souls are already whole, perfect, and complete as they are. It is already one with the God source. When you realize fully and know this is the truth with every cell in your body, then you're already home and you'll stop striving to be anything ever again. Sure, you may have desires that give your life purpose and direction, yet you won't let them become the main star of your show. There are many people on this planet, right in this now, who are deeply hypnotized by the mass media, thinking they must strive to be thinner, sexier, smarter, richer, or more beautiful, so that one day, excuse me, they'll become somebody super special, and then they'll really be loved. Striving never got anybody anywhere quicker except into their grave. If you find yourself defending your striving attitude, right, as you listen to what I share, or fall anywhere into the category of not being open to shifting out of strive mode, then I'd like to ask you, so exactly, when are you going to arrive? Do you honestly think that the experience of striving to become somebody better is going to make you a happier person in the end? When you find out how easy it is to experience an absolutely blissful state of unbounded joy within you right now, you will most definitely wonder why the heck you ever looked anywhere else but within yourself right here, right now. Now, at this point, you may be wondering how this anti-striving paradigm supports self-improvement, since it seems to elude the simple path to become a better person. First of all, there is a big difference between self-improvement and ego improvement. If you feel that only, right, when you are richer, more powerful, sexier, thinner, or more spiritual, then you'll be happy. You are living from the ego, guaranteed every time. If you feel that only when you are richer, more powerful, sexier, thinner, or more spiritual, then you'll be happy. You're living from the ego. If you are truly enjoying yourself, eating healthier, working harder, feeling sexier, and you're actually happy with yourself, just the way you are, you're doing true self-improvement. One path leads to suffering, the other leads to bliss. One path is sensitive to the body's needs, while the other path ignores the body and pushes harder to reach its destined goal. Only you will know which path you're truly on. Nobody can tell you otherwise. Being 100% free from striving is not necessarily something to strive for. Life is not about being completely desireless, sitting in a cave for 50 years, chanting how perfect everything is. That may be an amazing experience. Yet I believe the juiciest life contains many more interactions with people, deep loving relationships that move the soul, and the spiritual connection that flows through it all. Life is bigger than we can imagine. It is. And when we simply start allowing the effortless flow of consciousness to guide the journey, everything works out in the most amazing way. Striving and intense efforting has its divine reason for being here, as does everything. It creates a sensation of life direction, motivation, and purpose. This direction is ego-driven and illusionary. Yet it does get the job done at adding fertilizer to the soul to stir up the nutrients and get your karma moving a little. However, be very careful with getting too hooked into the striving zone. The mental fog that comes out of it can quickly cover up the divine perfect consciousness before you realize what happened. Years can sail by, and before you know it, you're addicted like everyone else is to trying to become someone or something better than the divine being you already are. To start finding true freedom from striving, start with letting go of attachment to your ideas about who you are. This means letting go of attachment to your desires, goals, agendas, projections, and in its place, you are simply trusting the divine flow of each new moment. This does not mean that you stop taking care of yourself, exercising, eating right, and doing those things that you love doing. No, this is about letting go of attachment to the idea that there is a better future you out there. Instead, you simply become the pure witness to the part who still wants to push the river and struggle to get upstream. Remember that the mind can have the tendency to play some pretty serious games with you. It can make you think your efforts are for something good and positive, yet the basic energy at the foundation is of struggle, lack, and survival. When there is no love, joy, or peace at the core of your actions, thriving cannot be found there. In striving mode, you don't have time to enjoy anything, let alone be this perfect self-realized God being you already are. When you're striving, you don't have time to stop and enjoy relaxing into your infinite presence. It's all about getting things done and making sure you make ends meet. The state of thriving is very magical, and the reward for trusting its power can make you feel that you are unstoppable. When you have completely relinquished striving on all levels, you will find out what your true purpose in this life is, and see that you were always being led by a natural loving support from the universe. You'll naturally follow the flow of daily inspired actions with joy, grace, and ease, and not question the experiences given to you. A life without striving is one where you are pleasantly surprised to see how intimately you are guided through each day and are constantly led back inside to rediscover the experience of supreme bliss. An outwardly successful life will naturally find its way to you as you no longer are creating the lacking consciousness by perpetually striving to get somewhere better than here now. When you wake up every morning in thriving mode, you'll realize that there is no need for any efforting to attain anything in the outer world. You start your day with the deep realization that everything is impermanent, and one day will all be taken away. This is not the attitude which bears fruit to the negative mind that says life is not worth living at all. Quite the contrary. There is a deep state of appreciation and liberation from being attached to life that naturally occurs by becoming free from the constant efforting habit. There arises a feeling of coming home to yourself. You begin arriving at the sweetest place in your heart you could call home. Transferring over into the joyous land of thriving is easy once you realize that there is an absolute state of bliss awaiting you within. It's an infinite realm on your inner world, and if you're not used to diving inside yourself, you may think that is nothing worthwhile to explore. Quite the opposite is true. Immense love, joy, and happiness are within every one of us right now. When we find it, we won't ever want to do anything that brings us less happiness than it. So yes, all of us can abandon all our chores and tedious projects and set sail towards our heart's greatest dream tonight. We can also have fun doing exactly what we did with our life yesterday, yet approach it from a place of gratitude, love, and appreciation, as if it was your last day on the job. The choice, ultimately, is yours about what you most need on your inner world to feel complete, alive, and in alignment with your life's purpose. So, how to take that first step out of striving into thriving? One of the big ignition keys to start your thriving engines tonight is to remember that fear is simply excitement in disguise. You can flip upside down that one thing you were afraid of doing the past 10 years into one of the most exhilarating experiences of your life, merely by shifting your perspective and approach. That fear will transform into joy. Once you see that grabbing the bull by the horns leads you into the most exotic, thrilling, adventurous dream life, you might suddenly drop your computer, toss your cell phone out the window, grab the first bull you see down the street. So I invite you, everyone, ask yourselves, what is the bull in your life that you are afraid to ride? What would happen if you decided to jump on its back, stay on it as it tried to buck you off, rode it down the road until it tired out, and then wandered off to enjoy the sunset? The scariest thing we are afraid to do is the wildest ride of our lives. The scariest thing we are afraid to do is the wildest ride of our lives. Hold your horses now, because we're just getting started in discovering what thriving is really about. It is good to understand that thriving includes the element of taking risks. Now, unfortunately, as these bodies age and we go through this life, we take less and less and less risks. It is a proven fact through research. The older we get, the more risks we should take. And it's actually the opposite, the less we take. It is good to understand that thriving includes the element of taking risks, yet also happens from that natural state of grounded aliveness, which is always peacefully inside the core of you. The secret of this awesome balance is being in touch with your life purpose and mission here. When you're aligned with your soul's mission, you can see, feel, and taste the highest vision of yourself. At that point, it's easy to see your dream life is on its way, manifesting effortlessly for you. Then in each moment of life, you make time to bask in the warmth of your inner sun, while appreciating this wild river of life flowing rapidly through you. The golden key to transforming into our greatest possible selves is being open to having amazing fun, living each moment in the unknown. You may feel challenged with stepping out of your comfort zone of living for the future, striving to become someone better, attain something bigger, or push yourself to do something entirely new. Yet, see for yourself how it will feel to live the next 30 years of your life striving for your dreams, or rather simply being the creative, loving, thriving soul you are now. This is not about giving up any of your goals, fantasies, or potential dream life scenarios at all. It's about shifting your approach as if you were a spiritual master who is already deeply wise, understanding, and patient. The secret to deep transformation in our lives is in learning the art of letting go. It's easy to let go of who you think you are when you know that you were not that same person you were last year, yesterday, or even 5 minutes ago. People have epiphanies, insights, revelations, new ideas all the time. That's the creative mark of the soul. There is always that original reason why you wanted to come to Earth in the first place. And it wasn't just about sex, drugs, and money. You came here, all of us did, for a much more spiritual experience, one that is available to us in anything and everything that we do. When we downshift out of strive mode, we will see that we can make the time and space to transform. We can let go of ourselves. And it just might be our ticket to nirvana. Any thoughts that say you're just not good enough are nasty little gremlins in disguise, making you think you need to be someone else. Trying to become someone new today only creates the habit of trying to become someone tomorrow, and this can last until you hit the grave. Don't become a pattern of another habitual life loss in perpetual struggle and suffering. Don't do it. Let go of trying to become anybody special and start realizing the divine God source already within you right now. The truth is, when you find and let go of trying to become someone other than who you already are, you start to relax into your divine nature and instantly arrive in the land of complete self-acceptance. What a relief. All this trying to become someone other than what you are is just proclaiming to the universe, this universe, that you're not okay with who or what you are now. No wonder this universe offers a package of struggle and suffering to manifest your dreams in return. Any hidden judgments that you have about yourself always create unhealthy stress in the body, which will block your ability to attract your desired outcomes with effortless ease. Any hidden judgments that you may have about yourself always create unhealthy stress in the body, which will block your ability to attract your desired outcomes and with effortless ease. This interconnection to Source is the divine plan, and it will unveil what your highest life purpose is truly about. Who you think you are is just another idea to acknowledge and move beyond. You, all of us, are an infinite being, a sparkling ball of pure light, as being pure consciousness itself. Concept that you become attached to create the most unfulfilling programs that you will have to unlearn someday. Striving is all about this addiction to specific ideas about who you think you want to become. If you let go, if you let all of these go, and trust that something much greater is guiding this boat home, you'll discover the magic within you, and thriving will take over. So just relax into who and what you are right now. The divine is always here now. You already have what it takes to truly enjoy your lives. And this breath that is breathing you right now, you don't need X, Y, or Z so that you can smile, laugh, and be in love. All it takes is shifting your focus inward towards your divine true nature. When you refocus your attention inside and are meditating on your connection to universal divine essence, you can experience the greatest spiritual source of energy, creativity, and love right now. As you get into the habit of accepting yourself for where, what, when, why, and who you are, the easier your life will be and the more joy you'll have for simply being alive. If you want to imagine what life is like to be free from striving and totally trusting life's natural flow, go out into nature. Meditate on the life of a tree. Just sit and be with this amazing species and imagine how it grew this far so slowly from a small seed, all with the help of the sun, earth, air, water, and Mother Nature. you'll realize that the tree didn't struggle to be the smallest, middle-sized, or largest tree in the forest. It simply lets nature do its magic through it and continuously stretched its roots, limbs out into its fullest tree potential. You are just like this tree. You can let nature take its course through you and grow into a mature divine being and reach your fullest potential in this life. When you're free from striving to attain anything, even spiritual enlightenment, you'll relax and reach a higher level of spiritual maturity. You'll naturally feel successful because life feels so open, relaxed, connected, and alive. This freedom from striving simply occurs through you when you are fully vulnerable and naked before God, ready to receive each experience life presents to you. So your huge enlightening assignment this coming week, this is your week to stop becoming anyone, especially if you've been trying to become an all-star Olympic enlightened manifestor. Your main joy is to start transcending any striving patterns and start to master the wild, unruly ego. You can do this by sitting very, very still with no agenda, purpose, or reason. The key is to sit as peacefully as you can in the same spot for at least 45 minutes in a row. I recommend the first 5 minutes of sitting as we go into this quiet time, that you focus on letting go of tension in your bodies by lightening all your muscles and releasing them. Then sit and just relax, resting as a solid stone or crystal statue. Realize that there is nothing to do and nowhere to go. The infinite source of your being will arise to be experienced in this great stillness. Set a timer if necessary, so you don't have to watch the clock. If your feet fall asleep, go ahead, move them, so you are pain-free, yet return to the statue, feeling out its new position. Sit in a quiet spot where you will not be disturbed every day. When you can remain as still and silent as possible, as if you truly were a stone statue, for 45 minutes minimum, it will take you into deep stillness and start taming the ego mind. Don't worry about the natural movement of your breath. Just let the body take care of you. This is not about pushing yourself to perfect, becoming the most solid, unmoving statue in creation. Just do the best you can with no movement of your body or your mind. The statue technique focuses mainly on the body so that eventually the mind follows along and is not moving at all. The best practice is mostly about resting into the physical, solid statue form. Rest in the stillness of the statue as it sits alone by itself. You are unmoving on the outside, yet on the inside, you'll need to be in allowing mode, letting everything rise to the surface to be released, simply being with what is. Now, if and when you see the mind attempting to strive to fix, change, or alter your experience, just watch that movement with no attachment at all. Stick to the 45 minutes as a statue. This is the exact amount of time needed to transcend the ego for everyone. It's best to sit on the floor with your spine straight, on top of a 3-4 inch cushion, while your legs are crossed, sticking out slightly, so you're not crushing your feet. You can also stretch your legs out straight. Lean against a wall if you need to. Don't get attached to if you're sitting correctly. Don't get attached to it if you're sitting correctly. Your big goal is to do, be, and experience what it's like to be a statue. Just rest, relax into the feeling of being completely solid. Just take a statue, just like a statue. Be the witness of your experience. Be gentle with yourself. When you start to get identified with the mind and into the ego's striving mode, total peace and stillness will find you. Doing this assignment every day for 45 minutes may be the most challenging thing you've ever tried to do in your life. Do not be hard on yourself. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself. Be in deep gratitude. If you hit a wall, right? This is one of the hardest meditations to do. No average person climbed Mount Everest with ease on their first try. If or when your body starts to ache, stretch for a few minutes, yet don't get up and start doing anything productive. Don't do anything at all until you've reached the 45-minute mark. And yes, sit in one spot for all these wonderful minutes and be the best statue that you can without striving to be the best. In time, you will notice that the God source grows stronger inside you. And this practice of stillness will be letting a greater spirit to be present and become more alive through you. Trust whatever experience comes your way. Yet, if things get a little crazy on your inner world, just do your best not to move a muscle. The most you should do is watch the rise and fall of the breath. Practice being the witnesser of the body and the thoughts flying by. Keep that body as solid as you can without being stressed out and rigid. This is not about becoming a statue of tension. It's about releasing the tension into the stillness of the statue. You may not see the deeply eternal loving the first day or so, or even after the third or fourth day, perhaps. Yet, if you do this assignment for 7 days, you will surely discover something very magical. A dramatic shift in your consciousness will show up in the most subtle yet powerful way. This exercise is enormous, and when you follow it for 7 days, you'll realize how easily you can shift your energy into a very powerful and centered space. You will be able to be at peace in the center of the cyclone of life and truly find yourself totally free, happy, and loving in a very profound and revolutionary way. So for the next several minutes, follow that in silence. Be the statue without tension. Don't judge the ego mind. Just watch. Let things flow. Your real power in this life doesn't come from money, prestige, material luxuries, or physical strength. These things can all be taken away from you. True power comes from that which is permanent. It is found by discovering that one thing that cannot change or be destroyed. Focus on the one thing which does not change or die in this life. It is not far away. In fact, it's closer to you than your next thought. By accessing your real power, you are no longer a victim to issues from your past or trying to manage who you will become in the future. To find your real source of power, look inward to where the source of your consciousness is coming from. This subtle, energetic fountain of bliss is truly who we all are. Take this precious day today, after this meditation, explore who and what you truly are. Pay close attention to this infinite stream of consciousness and surrender to the flow of its permanent, unchanging awareness all day long. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy, slow breath in through the nose and an easy and a slow breath out of the mouth. It is time for us to release any mental, emotional, or physical inner wounds we are holding on to so that we are more open and receptive to the divinity within. For today, redirect your attention towards the most soft, gentle, loving, healing energy you can imagine. Perhaps it's Mother Mary, or a new puppy, or a soft, fuzzy blanket, or receiving a message from a divine healing master. Whatever you focus on, let yourselves soften and welcome the relaxing, healing vibrations all throughout your bodies. This gentleness will help you heal in more ways than you know. Imagine a soft healing energy is penetrating every single cell in your body throughout the day today. Notice how your face changes in the mirror when you are focusing on this healing energy. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and into the following morning. We will return here Sunday, July 3rd, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.